So the first thing we will need is that bit of wall space. So it only needs to be the height of your leg, like hip height, okay? So like a cupboard, a door, anything like that is gonna work. And if your hamstrings are very tight and you find when I come into this and I show you this, you try it out, you don't like it, you can use a chair and put your legs up on the seat of the chair instead, with maybe a pillow on that as well. So I'll show you both, okay? If I'm talking about stuff and saying, if this isn't working, try this, but it's working for you, just ignore me and be in your own space. Okay, here's the kids on the stairs. Can you hear that? Oh, I warned them. I asked them to be quiet. Fingers crossed. Okay, so here we go. If you want to play the music alongside, you could get that started now. And then we are going to bring ourselves to our mat and bring the short end of the mat right up against the wall. Okay. So a little time check. Okay, so our first one is legs up the wall. And in fact, if you've been out in that warm weather today, this is a really lovely counter pose for walking, standing, moving. You bring yourself right in close against the wall, bring your hips right in. Now move yourself to the edge of your mat, okay? And then come down onto your shoulder. It doesn't matter which side you're on. You get your bum right in against the wall as close as you can, and then roll yourself over onto your back. So now you should be in the middle of your mat or thereabouts, and you let the legs go on up the wall. Now move anything away from you that might be touching you, giving yourself a little bit of space, physical space to relax. Okay, take a moment. Now what I'm doing here, what I love in legs up the wall is cactus arms, this sort of L shape. In fact, the arms and the head would make kind of a W. But if that is not for you, if it's not for your shoulders, you can try either taking the arms straight out wide or just lowering the arms down nearer to the sides of your body. But wherever you decide to bring the arms, let the palms face up. Okay, let the fingers soften and curl inwards. Take a moment just to relax and adjust anything you need to adjust. You might want to put a folded blanket under your head, pop an eye pillow onto your eyes, and maybe experiment with the arms to find the place. So if this feels a little too strong on your hamstrings, bend your knees a little bit and notice the difference that makes for your lower back. If you're happy here, just settle. If you're not and you feel a tugging on the lower back and the bend in the knees is not enough, I'm going to show you the other option. So the other option is to bring your chair in, maybe a pillow or cushion onto the seat of the chair, or you could use your couch. And you do the very same thing, but with the legs on the chair instead. Okay. So once you've found your place, notice how you feel. Feel the legs relax into the hip sockets. Feel the draining of the energy from the ankles and the feet as the blood flows back to the heart with the help of gravity. Feel the easy movement of your breath. Relax any effort in the belly. Let go now of anything you might be holding in your face. Just noticing any facial expression. Close your eyes, relax your jaw. And feel the breath flow in and out of your nose. And as you feel your face relax and soften, feel the weight of the head resting into the earth. Soften, allowing the head to sink a little deeper. Feel the effect on the neck and shoulders. Let the awareness move down through the arms, just sensing their connection with the earth. Feel your back. And your front. Feel the changing sensation in the legs. Now, if the legs are up against the wall, we're going to gently slide the knees down towards the body, taking the soles of the feet together. Let the knees open wide apart in Baddha Konasana. That's it. So don't worry about keeping your heels together. Let the feet relax. Let the knees relax wide. Breathing into the belly. We don't need to do anything here to deepen or lengthen the breath, but just let go of any holding around the abdomen. As you let your awareness move down deeper inside, feeling the movement of the breath rising and falling in the belly, just feel the hips relax and soften. Throughout the course of this practice, one of the challenges is really the activity in the head. It's normal and it's going to happen that your mind will wander off. And when it does, just notice and bring it back. Feeling the breath that you're breathing now and the changing sensations. When you feel ready, let the knees come together, the feet on the wall, and then just stretch the legs back up the wall for a moment. So if you've been doing this with the chair, perhaps you've had the legs in the same position the whole time, that's fine. Stay with your breath. and the sensations you're feeling now. And now we're going to slide the feet down the wall, letting the knees come towards the chest. And now let the feet move across the wall over to the left for a little twist. So if this is a little too intense for your back or even your tummy, you can shift back from the wall a little bit. If you're using the chair, just let the legs come off the chair to twist to the side. You could let the head move away from the legs towards the right. On the next breath, start to bring the feet back across the wall, across to the center, and then just let the legs go to the other side. So we use the wall here to support the feet, kind of pressing, not really pressing, but there's, I suppose, a resistance from the wall to the feet so that they stay close to the body. Remember, if it feels too intense, just shimmy back a little bit. Roll the head towards the left if the neck is happy. Close your eyes. Go inside. And perhaps deepen the breath here. When you feel ready, come back across the center with the feet on the wall or the legs on the chair. And then just, if the legs are on the chair, bring the knees down towards you as close as you can. Using the wall, we just let our feet be there, knees into the body. So feet as low as feels comfortable here. Good. Now, I'm going to roll over to one side. Just so reach your arm out on that side so that as you make your way over there, your head can rest on the arm. So we're going to bring ourselves up enough that the head can be on the arm. Take a breath. And then nice and gently make your way up to sitting. And when we do, we're going to sit. So if we have the wall behind us, let's use it. Just sit for a moment, simple cross leg. So once you're upright, hands on the knees, close the eyes. Good, just take a breath. That transition between the posture is really important. Now when you're ready, let the eyes open. And we're going to grab a few props here for Supta Baddha Konasana. So grab the closest thing you have to a bolster. Okay, and bring that down the length of your mat. I'm bringing it so that I'm going to bring it so my head's at the wall. So I'm going to put my bolster fairly close to the wall. And now get your scarf or your belt, or a blanket works really well also. And we need a couple of cushions or pillows. They're going to go at the end of the bolster. So I'm going to use a strap for my feet, and I'm going to use a blanket under my head on the bolster as well. So a blanket's kind of better than a cushion or pillow because I can make it just the right height. So I'm just folding that up, and that's going to be like my little pillow on the bolster, okay? Using a belt or a blanket or a scarf, we're going to tie the feet together. Here's what we do. Oh, and I should also say, you can raise this bolster a little bit. So let me show you briefly where we're headed with this. Bolster right up against the hips. I'm going to be lying back over it like that, but with the cushion under the legs for support. Tying the feet together with the scarf or the belt so that they feel really supported. But that might feel a little too extreme. And you can make it more gentle with blocks or books under one end or maybe kind of midway down the bolster. Just kind of prop it like that. So you can make this as much of an incline as you need to. And for example, in pregnancy, this will work the whole way through pregnancy, but you just keep elevating that slope. Okay, so it should be really relaxing. So let's get the belt around the feet. I'm just gonna literally tie my feet together like that. Okay, scarf is nearly better, to be honest, because it's nice and soft. Just wrap it around, tuck it in, hold the feet together. You might want another blanket to put over you when you lie back, and maybe your eye pillow as well, pop over the eyes. I have so much props here. I nearly can't find it. Okay, so when you're ready, what we do is we have these little cushions ready to go, and this is really important. I did this yesterday without the cushions, not relaxing. They support the knees, the thighs. Got this right up against the hips. Lie back. Oh, that's lovely. Now you see, because I've elevated the bolster a bit, I now need a cushion under each arm. And this is the kind of in and out of it, kind of jigging around that sometimes has to be done, will be needed certainly in some of these. You're never going to fall into it perfectly the first time. Take your time, come out, get what you need, try it again. So I'm popping an eye pillow on just to show you one of these little fellas, or a nice dark scarf works really well also. Here we go. Now if I put a blanket over the top, it would be perfect. I want you to find as close to perfect as you can. And sometimes it doesn't feel quite perfect, but it will. It's kind of finding the closest thing you can to the ideal place. If we get hung up on trying to make it absolutely perfect, I think sometimes the mind is like having a bit of a mess with us, really, you know, going, well, what about that little thing, let it go. Little things, let them go. Okay. Okay, so let's take our time, come in and out of that pose as many times as you need to until you find the support and the warmth that will allow you now to linger. Possibly my favorite restorative pose. You should feel that your back is very supported. Your lower back has the support of the bolster. The neck, the head should feel also supported in that the back of the neck is just nice and long. It's not overstretched. We haven't dropped the chin right into the throat. But you definitely want to feel like you could easily swallow. If your head is thrown back a little bit too much, this is going to pull on your shoulders. So a folded blanket might make a difference there. Okay. And then the other thing is, if you notice a bit of a pull on your shoulders, maybe another cushion is needed under the forearms. Okay, so if it's just your hands that have managed to reach the ground, bring in more. Let the elbows soften. Let the forearms, all the way from the hands to the elbows, be supported. Good. And then feel the difference. The shoulders dropping back over the sides of that support. the back of the neck lengthening. And bring the awareness down through your body to the hips, to the legs, the feet. Are the feet warm enough? Have the legs got a little bit of support? So what we're looking for here is this feeling of release through the hips, but nothing approaching a sense of strain. There's space for the hips to breathe, but we are not looking to increase our flexibility. We're not stretching. We want to really be able to sink in, settle down, and let go. So feel your breath come and go. Feel your body begin to settle into this shape. This poem is called Just for Now. Just for now, without asking how, let yourself sink into stillness. Just for now, lay down the weight you so patiently bear upon your shoulders. Feel the earth receive you, and the infinite expanse of the sky grow even wider as your awareness reaches up to meet it. Just for now, allow a wave of breath to enliven your experience. Breathe out whatever blocks you from the truth. Just for now, be boundless, free, with awakened energy tingling in your hands and feet. Drink in the possibility of being who and what you really are. So fully alive that the world looks different, newly born and vibrant. Just for now. Notice the sensations and how they change moment to moment, breath to breath. Very soon we're going to come out of this posture. So be present in it for just another breath. And then let the knees come up And if you have a scarf or blanket around the feet, you might be able to just work the feet free of that. If we have the belt on, it doesn't matter, we can keep it there. If you can free up your feet, go ahead and stretch your legs out long. Just releasing them down ahead of you. Letting the feet roll away from each other. Be here in what you're feeling. And then we are going to prepare to come out of it. So if we have the bolster on quite an incline, it might be easiest to sit up. Or we just roll, really lazy, over to one side. And then you don't have to linger there. You can come up and come up to sitting. But when you do, just give yourself a second. Sit, hands on the knees, close the eyes. Just a breath, letting everything just settle. Nice. Now we're going to turn ourselves around to face what we were lying back on. That's going to support us now in child's pose. And I will give a second option here as well. If child's pose doesn't work for your knees or feet, it might be more comfortable to flatten out. So first option, we'll need a couple of cushions. Maybe we'll need our bolster. You can keep it elevated, or I'm going to bring it down flat this time, but I'm going to put 2 cushions on it, 2 nice firm ones. Okay. And you can use your blanket here too. It's really lovely when you've found your way into it. You take your blanket from behind you and you bring it over you like a tent nearly. Okay, that can be lovely. So child's pose. Option 1, you have your bolster between your knees. You sit back on your heels. Got these cushions ready to go. I'm going to bring this one closest to me right in against the tummy. Come down over it. So it supports the chest, supports the tummy. And then I'm going to turn the head to one side. Okay, so resting my head now on this other cushion and the arms on the ground. Again, let's take a moment. Just feel yourself come into a place that works for you. Now I want to give you the second option. For those of you who find child's pose a big strain in the feet, the knees, that happens, we're going to do supported pranam, a prostration, basically a downward facing shavasana. I'm going to put a cushion there for my head, move the bolster down a little bit, and just bring yourself onto the bolster, head down, so that the upper body, I suppose from the chest to the hips really, is supported, and then the head on the cushion so I can breathe and the arms resting on the earth. Obviously that one's not going to work in pregnancy. I wouldn't do that. But supported child's pose, lovely. Throughout pregnancy, again, it's just a case of bringing the props higher and higher. This is more of an incline than a real forward fold. Good. So you're turning your head in child's pose to one side for a moment. In the pranam one, where you're lying down, it's just forward on the cushion. Take your time and get that little bit of space between the bolster and the cushion so you've room to breathe. Okay. Whatever you choose, feel that the front of the body is supported. The chest is supported, the belly is supported, the head letting go. If you've turned your head one way in child's pose, you could turn it again the other way when it feels right. Make sure that the arms are resting into the ground. There's no sense of holding the shoulders up. It's almost as though you're cuddling the bolster. And in fact, it feels perhaps that the ground is cuddling you. There's this lovely feeling of support from the earth, like you are being held. Drop into that, giving all of your weight to these supports beneath you. Let the breath come and go on its own. And with every breath, deepen this sense of letting go. If you haven't turned the head from the first direction yet, turn it now. The present moment. It's all you ever have. There is never a time when your life is not this moment. That's Eckhart Tolle's quote. So true. Even in the midst of things that we don't want to be going through, in the midst of the chaos, this is it. This is our life, this moment. We're breathing now. Breathe into it. Feel it. What it is right now. In a moment, we'll be coming out of this posture. Be present in it. Just another breath or two. And when you are ready, use your hands to support you. And if you've been in child's pose, just bring yourself up to sit back on the heels, hands rest on the legs, close the eyes, be upright. If you've been in pranam, you might prefer to sit. Take a moment, whatever way works for you, to be upright. Let the eyes close. Okay, we'll open our eyes. And we have a little bit of setup to do now for this next one. This is the most setup. So it's one of those that's worth it when we get there. If we had two bolsters, we would use them. If you happen to have, do put them along the length of your mat, but I'm assuming nobody does. So we're going to use what we have as a bolster, what we used for child's pose. That's one. That's going to come along the length of the mat. For this one, I'm going to put my head down this end, my feet down towards the wall. So the second thing I need is down this end here. Something like another bolster. I could use a couple of cushions like that. Could use a few blocks with a pillow on them or blankets. What I'm actually going to use, what I found, is the seat off an armchair. Perfect. And that works really well as bolster too, because it's nice and sturdy. That's the main thing we need. Like, this is going to support from the base of the shoulder blades to the feet. It needs to be that long. Okay. Now, get your scarf or your belt again. We're going to tie our legs together again, and have your eye pillow, have your blanket, all that stuff ready to go. This one definitely, there's a little bit of come into it, come out of it, go into it again, shuffle around a bit. So don't rush that. Don't be afraid to try it. Come out, come in. Okay. We're going to sit on the bolster. Let's call this our bolster. And we're going to take our scarf or our belt, and we're going to tie the thighs, or you might prefer the ankles, together. It's really up to you. I'm going to go with the thighs because I have a belt. If you're using a scarf, it's nice around the ankles too. Okay, so I'm tying that together. Right, you might want to watch and then give it a go. I'm going to sit on the bolster and the feet are going to go on this bit. Now, you come back. Now, it's easier to move further back if you find you're too far forwards, but I'm going to try and lie down so that the top of the bolster hits just under my shoulder blades and I can get my head to the ground, the top of the shoulders just on the ground. And again, my personal favorite is the kind of cactus shape with the arms, but it's perfect to have the arms out wide also. So I'm okay here, but I think I would actually come up again, go again, move forward a little bit. And then you might want to also just get your blanket over your legs, ready to pop over you when you get back there, and your eye pillow ready to put on your eyes. That's better. And you can always take a moment to feel, how's that? And then decide if something needs to change. Maybe a folded blanket under the head. So the idea with tying the legs together is that when you lie back, it's more relaxing. You don't have to work to keep your feet close together. The legs can relax, but they don't roll off the sides, you know. Okay, so I'll have a look and see if I can advise if anybody's struggling with that. Make sure I can see you if you want that bit of feedback. So what we are looking for in this, it's almost like a supported bridge. Yes, thanks, Sylvia. Tilt it down a little bit more and I can see a bit better. Yeah, good. Thank you. Okay. So when you come back into this, let yourself go back far enough off your bolster that your shoulder blades are not on the bolster. Because if they are, then the only thing that can bend is your neck. And that's going to be remarkably uncomfortable. Okay, yeah. So the support is really from the base of the shoulder blades down. Okay. So Sylvia, go back more. Take the cushion out from under your head for a sec and shift your whole body back more over your bolster. Yeah, sit on it. Yes. Yes, hips up on the bolster. Okay, so it's, yes, exactly. It's not a lower back bend, it's an upper back. Yes, that's it. Now arms out a little bit wider. I know there may be an issue with the shoulders and they might not like it, so see if they do. Move anything out of your way that you can. So if you can, and it's comfortable, make a T shape with the arms or a cactus shape. There you go. That's it now. So the important thing for the legs is just to have a little bit of support under your feet, your calves, your feet, so that we're not creating an arc from the feet to the head. We just want that little bit of a bend through the upper back and then the body kind of flat along the supports. A little bit of a setup in this one, but when you find your place, it should feel beautiful. Now, the thing is, we want to go back enough off the bolster that we don't feel like the head is thrown back. You don't want to feel like your throat is stretched. Bring your chin a little bit towards, that's it, towards your throat. Lengthen the back of the neck. And really what we are freeing up here is the upper spine, the tightest part of the back. the neck, the lower back, they're really bendy. And for that reason, they're a little bit vulnerable to overstretching and moving without support. So as we can really get into that upper back and create this opening through the heart center, this allows the neck and the lower back to rest, to lengthen, allows the shoulders to relax. Yeah. Good. Now settle in. Notice if your body is a little fidgety or your mind a little elsewhere, and be patient. Let the breath come and go. And let that be your anchor. Every breath gently drawing you deeper into the sensations as we let go of doing, of thinking. Empty the distractions in your mind that take you to another place or time. And feel breath by breath your body softening into this shape, letting go into the support beneath you. This poem called Walk Softly. It only takes a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still. And just like that, something in me settles, softens, makes space for imperfection. The harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper. And I remember again that life isn't a relay race, that we will all cross the finish line, that waking up to life is what we were born for. As many times as I forget, catch myself charging forward without even knowing where I'm going, that many times I can make the choice to stop, to breathe and be, and walk slowly into the mystery. So very soon we're going to bring ourselves out of this posture. Take a moment to absorb the feeling. And when you feel ready, even with the scarf or belt around the legs, just bend the knees a little bit and allow yourself to just roll off. You can come right over to your side. Now you could take some time on your side or come up to sitting as you're ready. And when you do, find your seated position again for a moment. Let the eyes close. Taking that chance just to let everything settle. Okay. We're going to keep our bolster again here for a little twist. So if you remove one of the supports you had there, use your bolster now along your mat. You might need another cushion or something on it, but we'll see, it might be fine. We're going to sit sideways onto it. So hips on the ground, bolster right up against you. And you just let your legs kind of tuck to your side. Okay, so they're not like this, just a little bit apart, knees down. Okay, we can put our blanket over us as well when we get into this. But you turn to your bolster, put your hands on the ground either side, take a nice big deep breath in and lift a bit of length through the front body. And then you just lay down your tummy. Sorry, I need to move that. Lay your tummy, lay your chest down onto the supports, and now you have a choice. So it might feel nice to turn your head the more gentle direction. You'll know what I mean. There's one way you can turn your head and it's kind of a big twist, and one way where it's more gentle. You decide which one. Arms resting on the ground. Yeah. So tuck the heels up a little bit towards your hips. Yeah. So if you want a deeper twist through the neck, it can feel good to let your head turn away from your knees. But if that feels like a bit of a strain, probably better to leave it. Turn your head the direction your knees are pointing, and just allow yourself, like in child's pose, to wrap around that bolster. Put your blanket over you here if you like. Move the hands a little bit away from the bolster. So instead of bringing them in towards the face, just spread out a little bit. Yeah, make sure nothing's touching off you. Flick it all away. Give yourself the physical space to let go. Let the eyes close. Feel the breath come and go on its own. The beating of your heart. The feeling of ease. Take one more breath just here. And then bring yourself up slowly. You can keep your eyes closed. All you're going to do is switch to the other side. So turning so that the other hip is closest to the bolster. Hands either side of the bolster. Big breath in to lengthen. And then lay yourself down. Good. Again, the option to turn the head all the way into the twist, or go easier and turn the head towards the knees. And you could even try both. And choose one that allows you to completely relax, that there isn't a sense that you need to push or pull. Make sure that the arms are in a position that allows the shoulder blades to soften around the back. So if the elbows are too low down or too high up, there will be some strain in the shoulders. Find the perfect place where the elbows are wide, the hands a little wide, and the shoulders, the upper back can relax. Feel yourself settle now for just a few more breaths. And then as you feel ready, bring the hands to the earth to support you. Push yourself up gently. Now take your bolster or cushions or blocks. We're going to sit for a moment. We're going to come into a cross leg or a kneeling position. You could also do this sitting in a chair. Put a blanket over your shoulders if you like here. So the seated position I'm choosing is Siddhasana, one heel in front of the other of a bolster under my hips so they're quite high. Simple cross leg works too, Sukhasana, or kneeling. Okay, whatever works for you. Feel that you can rock your pelvis a little bit forward so that it comes to its neutral place, the sit bones on the ground underneath you, rather than perhaps your tailbone. Okay, so if you need more height, go for it. You can sit against a wall, but if you do, roll a blanket or a little cushion in there to the waist. So the couch works really well, actually. It'll sit right into the waist. Okay. Let the hands rest on your legs. Close your eyes. We're going to take the left hand into what's called Chin Mudra, joining the thumb and first finger, kind of an okay sign. And you turn your hand so that the palm faces up. Just relax the elbow, resting that hand on the left leg. Take your right hand now and either fold the first two fingers into the palm, or you might prefer to bring those two fingers to the middle of the eyebrows. It's just a personal preference. Breathe in. If we were folding the fingers into the palm, we're like this. As we breathe out, we're going to use our thumb against the right side of the nose to close it and let the breath flow out through the left. So bring that right hand up to the nose. We'll start that again. So we're just going to take a breath in through both sides of the nose. And to begin this alternate nostril breathing, close the right side with your thumb and breathe out through the left. Now, as you're ready to breathe in, let the breath flow in through the left side for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now with your thumb and your ring finger, close both sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now lift your thumb and breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So roughly that rhythm. Breathe in through the nose, through the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath, closing both sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift your ring finger, breathe out through the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now keep it going in through the left at your own pace. Holding the breath at the top, closing both sides. And then letting it flow out through the right. Drawing it in through the right. Holding it, just feeling that sense of potential, that energy. And then letting it flow out through the left. So we're going to do 2 more rounds, the very same pattern. As you breathe in through the left, this is the lunar channel. Visualize a full moon reflecting on water. And as you hold the breath, visualize the lunar qualities, that sense of peace, of calm, stillness. As you breathe out through the right, you're offering those lunar qualities to the solar side of yourself. So as you're ready to breathe in through the right, this is the solar channel. Imagine you're breathing in the qualities of the sun, vibrancy and warmth. And when you hold that breath at the top, you're holding that solar energy. And breathing it out through the left, offering that to the lunar side of yourself. One more round at your own pace. As we breathe through the left, this is connected to the right side of the brain, the feminine side of us. We all have the feminine and the masculine. Hold the energy as long as it feels comfortable. Letting it go through the right as you're ready. And when you breathe in through the right, this is stimulating the left side of the brain, the masculine aspect of our being, our solar. Hold that energy at the top. Let it go through the left, solar and the lunar coming into balance. You let both hands come down when you're ready, Chin Mudra with both hands. And feel the breath flow in and out of both sides of the nose. Notice how you feel. Let the mudra dissolve. And when you feel ready, come and lie down for the final Shavasana, using cushions under the legs if you like, certainly a blanket over you, or resting on the ground with the legs just hip width apart. The hands a little away from your sides, your palms facing up. If you want a folded blanket under your head, do, or support under the knees. Continue to feel the flow of your breath. But let go now of doing anything to the breath. Just feel the breath come and go on its own. Make any other little adjustments you might need to get really comfortable here in Shavasana. Make sure you have space, physical space around you, that your hands and feet aren't touching off anything. Now feel the back of the body. And its contact with the earth. Feel the weight of the head. And as the head rests deeper, feel the neck and shoulders relax. Shoulders settling back and down. Feel your arms just becoming aware of where they are and the ground beneath them. Feel the hands, the fingers, and feel the sense of softening, of letting go through the arms, hands and fingers. Become aware of the parts of your back that are touching the ground. Let the back relax a little deeper with each breath. Let go through the hips, the pelvis, the legs, feeling that connection between the legs and the earth, the heels, the feet, the toes. Feel the whole back of your body settling deeper. The easy, gentle rise and fall of the front of your body as it breathes. A quote again from Eckhart Tolle: I am not my thoughts, emotions, sense perceptions, and experiences. I am not the content of my life. I am life. I am the space in which all things happen. I am consciousness. I am the now. I am. Become aware of your breath. Aware of the feeling in your body. And if you have a positive affirmation, repeat it to yourself now 3 times. Or simply repeat to yourself 3 times, I bring my undivided attention to this moment. Notice now the sounds, whatever they might be, wherever you are. Become aware once more of your own body, the feeling. Bring that awareness to your fingers, your toes. Let the fingers and toes move a little bit. Take a deeper breath in. And let the arms and legs just move and stretch as they will. Draw your knees up into you. Give yourself a gentle hug. And then roll over to your side and definitely take a moment on your side, even a breath. Relax completely. And then bring yourself up gently to sitting. Find your seat. Bring your hands together, the heart center. And close your eyes once more. Just listen in. How do you feel? Let something come to mind that you feel grateful for. Namaste.